Assalamualaikum everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bacteriology series. Today we are looking at Leptospira interrogans. But before getting into the video, I'd like to tell you guys that these videos are meant for educational purposes. Things and treatments may change with time. If I get wrong or miss anything, your input is always welcomed in the comment section. So, have a cup of tea and let's get started. Leptospira interrogans. Leptospira has got different species in it, but the important one is the Leptospira interrogans because it is responsible for causing infections in human beings. The word Leptospira has got two different words in it. First is lepto, which means thin, and the second one is spira, which means coil. So this bacterium is thin coil or thin spiral, just like this in the picture. As I've told you earlier that this is a spirochete, it is tightly coiled with hooked ends. It has got this uniformity in its coils and is hooked at its ends, both anterior and posterior. It is found in water. What kind of water? The water that is contaminated with the urine of infected animals. And urine contained the leptospiras in it. And animals were infected with leptospirosis. That's why when they urinated in the water, that urine contained leptospiras. Leptospira interrogans stains poorly with dyes, so it is often considered gram-negative because it does not retain the dye in it and is responsible for causing leptospirosis. Spirochetes, we've talked about Treponema, Borrelia, and today we're looking at Leptospira. But before talking about Leptospira interrogans in much detail, I want you to know about bacterial classification. Bacteria are further classified based on gram staining into gram-positive and gram-negative. And bacteria are also classified into mycoplasma and acid-fast. And lastly, into spirochetes. We're done with all of the bacteria. If you're interested, be sure to check out the channel. Morphology. Leptospira is spiral-shaped bacterium, as you can see in this picture. It is tightly coiled with hooked ends. And this is the tiny spirochete and is motile like the other spirochetes because of the endoflagella. This bacterium does not properly stain with dyes, so this bacterium cannot be visualized under light microscope. So we use dark microscopy for visualizing Leptospira. Habitat. Hosts. Human beings are the hosts of Leptospira interrogans because it causes leptospirosis. It also has certain animals as its hosts, like rats and other rodents, domestic livestock, household pets, like dogs. It is also found in water, and I've explained why is this so. Transmission. There is no human-to-human spread or transmission, but if there is human-to-human spread or transmission, it will be very rare. Transmission normally occurs via contact with or consumption of urine, contaminated water, food, and soil. Because animals not just excrete urine in water, but they also excrete that in soil. That's why. Water and soil are contaminated with urine of infected animals, and urine contains leptospiras in it. Risk factors. They're associated with the profession of the person, like thievers, miners, swimmers. Like if any individual swims in contaminated water, that individual is prone to get leptospirosis. Pathogenesis. Leptospirosis is a zoonotic infection. The reason is that it has got certain animals as its host, so those animals, when transfer infection to humans, then we can say that this is the zoonotic infection. Human infection results when leptospiras are ingested or pass through mucous membranes or skin. They circulate in blood and multiply in various organs, producing fever, dysfunction of liver, that is jaundice. In kidneys, it will cause uremia, hemorrhage in lungs, and aseptic meningitis in central nervous system, CNS. Okay, let's talk about the fun part. Leptospirosis is biphasic. Bi means two and phasic means phases. So this disease has got two phases. Let's talk about the first phase. Fever, chills, intense headache and conjunctival suffocation, that is diffuse reddening of conjunctiva, appears early in the disease, which is followed by a short period of resolution of these symptoms as Leptospira is cleared from the blood. The second phase, which is also called immune phase, is most often characterized by findings of aseptic meningitis and in severe cases, liver damage that will include jaundice, impaired kidney function. Here, I would like to take a moment to tell you about Medical Parasitology MCQs ebook. This is the Parasitology Practice Questions short, concise book that will help you prepare for your exams, the parasitology exams or class tests. You can buy it using the link in the description or in the top right corner. It will cost you only $12. So what are you waiting for? Buy it and enjoy learning. Lab diagnosis. We'll need samples of blood and urine. Microscopy. As I told you earlier that this bacterium does not properly stains with dyes, so we'll use dark field microscopy for visualizing it under the microscope. As it does not stain properly, so it is classically considered as gram-negative and is spiral-shaped. This is how it looks like under the microscope. It is spiral-shaped or coiled and has hooked ends. Prevention primarily involves avoiding contact with the contaminated environment, and sewers and miners should wear proper equipment while working. Alright everybody, let's have a quick recap. The organism we discussed today is Leptospira interrogans. It is responsible for causing leptospirosis. There is no human-to-human spread. Even if it was there, it would be very rare. Transmission occurs via contact with or consumption of urine, contaminated water, food, and soil. Hosts are humans and also certain animals, like dogs. Diagnosis is based on microscopy and serologic tests. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any suggestions, feel free to leave them below. And I'll see you soon in the next video.